All right, Shalom. There's a brother Nahalia from the GMS Orlando camp. I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who are the elders of Yashar Allah, and a sincere salutation to all you Akim, who are preaching this word and believing this word in all truth and in sincerity. This is Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 65. I'll start at 64. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people, from the one end of the earth even unto the other, and there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. And among these nations shalt thou find no ease, neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest, but the Lord shall give thee there a trembling heart, and failing of eyes, and sorrow of mind, and thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and night, and shalt have none assurance of thy life. All right, and through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemel Shai, I want to go into a lesson on this. All right, because our people live life on defense. Our people, we live life on defense. That's why our people trim their way to seek love. That's why our people dim their light to make everybody else feel comfortable. It's a defensive reaction to life. And through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemel Shai, the Lord has given us the blueprint and the key to begin to play offense through the spirit of Yahweh Shemel Shai. And that's by returning to Yahweh Shemel Shai and being confident in what the Lord has blessed us with. But we live life on defense. When the scriptures, I wanted to go to the curses first because this highlights why we play defense as a nation of people. Because there is no assurance of thy life. From your own people and the competition that is in the civil war really within our own nation, through gang warfare and all of these different things, our people play defense against each other. And then they play defense against other nations. We're never on the offensive as a nation of people. The Lord said we would have no might in our hand. All right. Those who have might in their hand, they can play offense because they have power. We don't have power. All right. Now let me go to this as well. Salakia. Let me jump down to Deuteronomy 28. And I want to go to 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thine hand. So if you don't have power in your hand to exercise your will, you are playing defense. You have to defend what little you have. Even as a nation of people, and I thought about this as well. Down here in Florida, it's a little different, but it's similar in its core. When you go into a certain environment, for you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and you understand this better than I can probably articulate it. But you have to play defense. You go into a room and you look and survey the situation. And the main people that you're looking at are people that look like you. Because you're trying to figure out who's trying or who may be attempting to offend in some way. Those who make eye contact too long. If you hold eye contact too long, then you are signaling that you're willing to play offense on them. And now this whole dynamic that we exist in is not normal. We have normalized it and even glorified it when you deal with the music. But ultimately, through the spirit, it reflects that defense that we have to play in life. You have one Jake who makes money and he has to play defense to keep it because he's the only one in his lineage, more than likely, with money. When you have a job and you go into a room full of people that don't look like you, you don't get to set the tone in most cases. You have to play defense. You have to trim your way. And there's levels to trimming your way. You have the trimming your way that is wise as serpents. And then you have the trimming your way that is a homeborn slave. Now leave it to you to discern the difference between the two. But this is all a reflection of us having to live life on defense. And we're coming into a time through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shah where we will be able to have and play offense. That is how you actually live. You know, I did a lesson last week on survival versus actually living. When you're actually living, you can play offense. You can look at scenarios and options and attack it. As a nation of people, we don't have that ability. And that's a part of the curses. That's why I wanted to start off with Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. Because ultimately that goes back to the curses. That we're under these chains of darkness and these curses where we have to play defense and measure, our situation and calculate our situation. And that goes for those who understand that they're Israelites and have returned to Yahweh Shema Shai, and 2/3. The curses still cleave unto them. They're just rebellious. But even them, they have to play defense. We live on defense in this life. We survive on defense. When you really break it down, we survive on defense. We don't live on offense. The other nations get to live on offense. Elam, for example, if Elam comes to America and starts a business, if it works out, he can bring his family, they can get raised up. But if all else fails, he can learn what he has here and go back to his own country and feed them with the same knowledge because he has a homeland to go back to. We don't even have a stronghold. We have no continuing city. All right, let me go to that. Slakia, bear with me. This is Hebrews 13 and 14. For here we have no continuing city, but we seek one to come. We don't have a stronghold here. Your ghettos get gentrified, meaning you don't even have time to sit still enough to plan an offense. The way Esau set up the society and the way your lineage and your families are set up, you don't even have time to think about offense. You're born into a nation of people where you're born broke. You're born into a lineage or a family where nobody has money and you have to continue to try to make ends meet. That's playing defense. And those who do get an opportunity, these entertainers, these athletes who make money, the pressure is on for them and they have to play defense to keep it. And this is a part of that chastisement that the Lord was showing us. All right. Let me go to Haggai. This reminds me of Haggai. Haggai 1. And I'm going to jump down to verse 5. Now, therefore, thus saith Yahweh Shema Shai, the Lord of hosts, consider your ways. Ye have sown much and bring in little. Ye eat, but ye have not enough. Ye drink, but ye are not filled with drink. Ye clothe you, but there is none warm. And he that earneth wages to put it into a bag with holes. That is defense. You have to defend the little bit you have. And even that little bit is stretched too thin. That reminds me of this. Let me go to Isaiah, the 28th chapter. All right. This is Isaiah 28. I'm going to jump down to verse 20. For the bed is shorter than that a man can stretch himself on it, and the covering narrower than that he can wrap himself in it. Meaning it's never enough. It never works. You barely make ends meet. And that is defense. That is you defending the little that you have. And that is a part of the curses that we have to bear because we have sinned and offended Yahweh Shema Shai. And I was just meditating on this because when you have to play life on defense, you don't really get to live. You don't really get to attack life. Life just attacks you and you just try to stop the blows. That is happening on a personal level, for you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and as a nation of people. Don't get confused by the glitz and glamour of the entertainment industry and the sports industry. They are playing defense. If one of them sports guys breaks their ankle tomorrow, they lose all of that, and they know that. They carry those thoughts with them. Those entertainers, if they don't get that next check, because they live check to check, they make millions of dollars, but it's check to check. So the idea that you're one song away from being homeless means you have to play defense. You have to defend what you have to maintain it. And this is why Isaiah 28:20 comes to mind, because it says the bed is shorter than that a man can stretch himself on it. Because we have to live life on defense, because we offended Yahweh Shemel Shai, and he did what? He removed the hedge, because he was our defense. So we could actually focus on playing offense and living in righteousness, which is what we were supposed to do with that protection. But our people took that protection and we abused it. And for that reason, the Lord removed the hedge of protection from us so that we were vulnerable to our enemies. And now we're bound up. All right. Mentions that in Matthew, the 12th chapter, I believe, binding up the strong man. We're bound up. And how are we bound? Because we have to play defense, whether it's bills, whether it's actually livelihood. You know, you can't go in certain neighborhoods you go in. You have to conduct yourself accordingly. You have to be circumspect. Dealing with other nations at your job. It's a constant game of defense, man. All right. Let me go to this. Yep. It's Matthew 12:29. Or else how can one enter into a strong man's house and spoil his goods, except he first bind the strong man, and then he will spoil his house? And how does Esau done that? All right. Ultimately, the Lord did that, and he used Esau as the tool to accomplish it. You know, the jobs, the money, the debt, the trouble with your woman, the whole beef between Negro, Latino, and Native American men and women. You know, this culture of being of our women being harlots, and it's acceptable. All of these things always put you constantly on the defense. It reminds me when Outkast, Andre 3000 said, "Protect your heart." You know, from the women. You know, it's like it's a constant exhortation to play defense to the best of your ability, or else. And ultimately that goes back to the curses. And through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemel Shai, the importance and the significance of the one they call Jesus, whose name is Yahweh Shai, is that we can actually have life. All right. More abundantly. All right. This is John 10:10. The thief cometh not but for to steal and to kill and to destroy. I am come that they might have life, and that they might have it more abundantly. Where we can play offense for once. Where we can have assurance of life for once. Because really this whole lesson is based on the curse of our life hanging in doubt and having no assurance of life. By default, that puts you on defense. And through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemel Shai, the good news of the gospel is the opening of the gates to them that are bound, man. That we no longer have to play defense. Why? Because the Lord is going to fight for us and deliver us. All right. This is Isaiah 61:1. The spirit of Yahweh Shemel Shai is upon me, because Yahweh Shemel Shai hath anointed me to preach good tidings unto the meek. He hath sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives, and the opening of the prison to them that are bound, to proclaim the acceptable year of the Lord, and the day of vengeance of our power, to comfort all that mourn. All right. And the main point was to proclaim liberty to the captives. All right. Where we don't have to play defense and protect ourselves, so to speak. The Lord is going to be our hedge, and he's going to fight against those that have fought against us. All right. So Lord willing, this was edifying. You know, I just wanted to spend a moment on that. I was meditating on it. Lord willing, this was edifying again through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemel Shai. This is the good news, man. This is the comfort. All of the destruction that we're witnessing is for the purpose of that marriage. And with that marriage comes that protection from our husband, who is Yahweh Shemel Shai. Where we no longer have to play defense against nations that are stronger than us, man. We can actually play offense. We can actually live and not just survive. All right. So again, Lord willing, this was edifying. With that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who are the elders of Yasha Allah, and a sincere salutation to all you Akim, who are preaching this word and believing this word in all truth and in sincerity. Shalom.